Mr. Laux, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Tommy, for selling you a defective kayak. You saw the listing for the kayak on Facebook, you reached out to the defendant, and you inquired specifically about the condition of the kayak. Were there any cracks, damages, and you claimed that the defendant confirmed that the kayak was in good condition. He even sent you photos to confirm, and so you bought the kayak. When you went over to the defendant's home, you picked up the kayak, you took it back to your home, you placed the kayak on a lake, and you noticed immediately that the water was coming through the bottom of the kayak. There was a crack, one that you claim is impossible to repair. You believe that the defendant sold you this kayak under false pretenses, which is why you were suing the defendant for $855. Mr. Tommy, you claim that the plaintiff inspected the kayak before taking it and loading it onto his truck to take it home. You claim the kayak was in good condition when it left your property, and so you owe the plaintiff nothing.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Laux, you are a kayaker?
I am.
For how long?
I grew up on a lake. I've been paddling since I could hold one. I ran a livery service, a kayak rental for almost 10 years.
Okay. What drew your attention to the kayak that was listed on Facebook by the defendant?
I was shopping for my wife.
Okay.
Size, criteria, I wanted compartments for storing camping gear.
Okay.
So it's a 14-foot kayak. It's got dry storage in the front and the back. It's older. I purchase older kayaks because the new ones are made out of thin plastic. The reason I asked him so many specific questions was because kayaks don't last forever, and the older ones are much more likely to survive the test of time.
Okay, let's look
So
at the kayak.
I wanted an older kayak.
Okay.
I did.
All right, so you submitted photos. These are the photos that the
full
defendant
length
sent you.
are the ones that he sent me showing me that there was
Like that?
no damage to the kayak. My concern was tail and nose. People drag big kayaks, 14-foot kayaks. People don't pick them up. They're heavy.
But he sent you photos confirming,
Those
or
photos.
at least you were satisfied.
Correct. I
Okay.
was looking for what's called oil canning, so that's warping on the hull of the kayak.
Okay.
And then deep drag marks on the nose and tail because, frankly, people are lazy.
Okay.
That would have been a deal breaker for me. And so we continued our conversation about the purchase.
Mr. Tommy, are you a kayaker?
I have a kayak that I've had for probably 10, 15 years.
Okay.
I live on the water. I actually haven't used my own kayak for probably 3 years, 4 years.
Okay. So you're not in the business of selling kayaks?
No.
Okay.
No. I have 2 kayaks that I had listed for sale. I purchased them in case I have friends down. Well, friends haven't come to the house in years, so I said, you know what? They're sitting here. I never use them. Get rid of them.
So you sent him these photographs confirming that there were no...
He was asking for, that's what he was concerned about, the front and the back from dragging. I said, I felt it, I pushed on it, doesn't feel soft.
Okay.
And I sent them the pictures of the front and back, and pretty much you see the whole.
And then he sent you a payment of $325, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Mr. Laux, you're actually suing for $855. Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's lost wages, day of work.
From going to his place to get it?
No,
Oh.
today.
But you paid him $325
I
for the
did.
kayak.
I
Okay.
paid him over the phone without seeing the kayak, $325.
Okay. But you went to his place to pick it up, correct?
I did.
And you inspected the kayak?
I did. Again, I looked at the nose and the tail specifically for drag marks. I didn't see any. I looked for the oil canning that I mentioned before in the hull. I didn't see any. All in all, the kayak looked good. It was a freezing cold day, I think he'll agree, and I hustled to get the boat in the back of my truck and home.
Okay. Now, if there were an issue, Mr. Tommy, you would have refunded his money, correct, at that point? Because you contend that the kayak was in good condition.
I never saw a crack. You know, I inspected it when I bought it.
Right.
I never used the kayak. He came, he looked it all over. Like he says, he's very familiar with kayaks. He knew what to look for. I'm not so familiar, but I didn't see it. He didn't see it.
So you loaded the kayak up on your truck?
I did.
And you got it to your place and you put it on water
I did.
and it sank,
Didn't sink.
or was about to.
The seats of a kayak have legs just like chairs, and the crack is at the foot of one of the legs underneath the seat. So there's 2 pictures. One shows the inside of the kayak where the crack is.
I'm on page 6. Tell
The
me which
darkest
one.
orange, so
This
the
one?
top left.
Okay.
That's the inside. That's the leg pedestal of the seat.
Where you sit in the kayak.
Yeah, so that's where it
Underneath?
touches the bottom of the kayak.
Did you
and then
not see that when you inspected it?
It's literally underneath the seat. I had to use the phone and take a blind picture. I took about 30 pictures to get that. I mean, it's visible in the pictures before I even brought it home. It's visible in the pictures that he sent me. I just missed it.